Welcome to the Boomer Briefing Podcast, where we help you solve a critical business issue in 20 minutes or less. My name is Marc Staut, Chief Innovation and Technology Officer at BoomerConsulting, and with me today is Jim Boomer, CEO at BoomerConsulting. Thanks for joining me, Jim.
Well, thanks, Mark. It's great to be here, and we've been doing podcast discussions, but you're talking to the screen, so it's great to be side by side here. And this is an exciting topic. We just wrapped up our annual BTC Summit a few weeks ago, and so we're thrilled to announce our first ever Boomer Circle Summit that's happening in 2024. We're going through all kinds of change in the accounting profession, and we really believe this event will bring together the leaders within firms and across the profession to really dive into the top issues and opportunities that we're facing. And so the other thing is create alignment across functions as well and across leadership. And so we're going to, that event is going to touch on all 5 pillars of success. Yep. It's going to touch on leadership, process, talent, growth, and technology. So again, it's great that we're able to sit here and have this conversation, but maybe you want to kick us off by covering what is this Boomer Circle Summit?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to talk about it, and it feels like it's been a long time coming. It's something we've been talking about for a while. Frankly, it's something that our clients have been asking us for a long time, and we're just able to put this together in the way that we really want that is going to create that experience. And what the Circle Summit is where we get all of our members, all of our communities together and allow them to start interacting with each other. So you don't have these kind of silos of information where somebody goes off to one of the communities, they get some information, they bring it back, that's great, but you're hearing things at different times. How can we build that collaboration and, as you said earlier, alignment in between everything? I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree with you. Like you mentioned that our clients have been asking this, especially as we've grown from having just the technology circles to having 9 different types of circles. It seems to be constant now that somebody in the operations circle says, hey, can we co-locate with the CIOs? The marketing and business development goes, hey, it'd be great if we could, meet with the managing partners. And so you're trying to figure that out in the crossing, and there's so much of it requested that this is the natural centralized point and event that I think is going to be amazing. So I'm really excited about it, and I know the reaction we received, we have a lot of excitement around the announcement that we made at this year's summit.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing initial response for sure. So let me ask you, Jim, how would you say that the Boomer Circle Summit is different from some of the other offerings that we have at Boomer?
Yeah. Well, I will say we've been doing the summit for years. I mean, this is the evolution of what we've called Summit, but from the beginning it was Boomer Technology Circle Summit. Then the Process Circle started to co-locate at that event, and so you had 2 of 9 circles. So what makes this different is truly the cross-functional focus of this, to bring together all of the leaders. So, we can attack the capacity topic. We can address the impacts of AI and generative AI and ChatGPT, but not just from the technology angle or not just from the COO angle or the marketing and business development. We can have these conversations together, and I think we'll be stronger for it. And so the other thing is, from your own firm or an organization's perspective, I think the more leaders that you can have at next year's event that are collaborating, like we're going to set aside time for firms to work among their leaders to take the information and strategize and build a plan for going forward to take advantage of what they're learning at the event.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point, Jim. This isn't us talking at more people,
Yeah.
right? This is really an opportunity for people to collaborate with each other. Every one of our clients is that secret sauce.
Yeah.
And how they come in and interact with each other, what they share with each other, what they learn from each other, that is so, so important. And I love the way you described it earlier. It's way more of an evolution. It seems like this is a big new thing, and it's really not. This is the logical next step for what we've been building over the years.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm sure, who is the Boomer Circle Summit for?
I love that question, Jim. I think that anybody who is interested in working with their peers, learning from what other firms are doing, anyone who doesn't mind sharing that information as well, because it really is a collaborative environment where it is a lot of give and take. We often say that people come to these and they get out of it what they put into it. So if you come with an open mind and you have that growth mindset, you're able to really come in and look for some opportunities. I get asked all the time who should attend any of our community meetings, and this one is no different, right? It's anybody who wants to kind of push their firm to grow a little bit faster, to succeed a little bit better, to really look at all those different areas and how they interact with each other. And that's especially true during the Boomer Circle Summit, because they're going to get exposure to other ideas that they normally don't, even within our own communities.
Yeah, yeah. And I do think it's beyond title. It's that mindset that you're talking about, the approach, the openness, the willingness to trust in your peers, that if you give, you're going to get. But I also think part of that mindset is one of being a leader. Mm-hmm. And again, that's not title. That's, you're going to play that transformation catalyst. Our vision at BoomerConsulting is to be the guide to drive transformational change. And the people that come to the circles are the definition of that, because they go back and they move the needle in terms of positive change and lead change. And so I think this event is going to be about that cross-functional, cross-leadership collaboration, but it's also like, how do we accelerate the progress and in an exponential way? And this is how you do it. You bring these groups together.
Yep, and it takes a special type of person, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who is willing to make that investment and bring their best, but it's also somebody who isn't just focused on what they're running in their own firm. You know, I love the leadership comment, Jim. I think that's so spot on. And we see leaders at every level, in every department. And that's something that's really important too, is focusing on, do you want to be a leader in your firm? Mm-hmm. If the answer is yes, then you should be coming to our communities.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other reasons that people should attend the Boomer Circle Summit?
Well, you know, I think that we're going to, with our Technology Circle Summit, we've always been, that's an event where we've been able to bring the leading solution providers together and give our firm members access to some of the tried and true long-term providers, but also some of the things that are newer that they may not be aware of. And this is going to be an opportunity where we'll be able to have more. It's going to be solutions, whether those are technology or those are services, that impact all 5 pillars. And so I think this is going to be an amazing opportunity to really strengthen those strategic relationships with those solution providers. That's one. You know, but then I'll get it, you know, I'm going to kind of touch on we touched on who should attend and who is this for. And I kind of alluded to sending multiple people, the value there.
Yep.
But I think another benefit is if you have people participating in not only Technology Circle, but are also participating in Process Circle and Talent, and go down the list, you now have your leaders throughout your C-suite thinking in a similar way, approaching challenges and opportunities in a similar way and with some of the similar tools. And now at this event, they're going to have the time that they may not have when they're going about their busy days.
Yep.
To say, Mark, you as Chief Innovation and Technology Officer, me as Chief Executive, John as Chief Growth, Ariana as Chief Operations Officer, Sandra as President, Gary as Visionary and Strategist, taking the time to go, all right, here's our vision for what we want our organization to be. How do the things that we've talked about, like I mentioned capacity, AI, that's just a few examples, but how are these going to have an impact, and what do we need to be doing today to move forward towards our vision and to leverage these opportunities? So when you have multiple people, if you only have one person coming to Summit, you're going to get great value. You just probably won't get that within your own firm's leadership, won't get that cross-functional. But you'll have the tools to think and to take it back to the relevant people.
I'm going to coin a new phrase here. If you send multiple people, you get exponential collaboration, right?
That's great. I love it.
Because if you go back and tell everybody it's fine, but you're not part of that process. Another really good point that you made, Jim, was about having free space or free time to be considering all of the things that are true strategic priorities for your firm. It's really easy to get caught up in the day-to-day, the operations aspect of every one of our roles, especially as leaders. But having a little bit of space in the innovation area, that's one of the things we like to say is innovation actually takes free space or free time so that you can be creative, you can stop thinking so tactically, and you can be much more strategic. So that exponential collaboration, trademark, is one of the things that you're really going to get when you send multiple people to the summit.
Yeah. So I think you can probably sense how excited Mark and I are about this. I can attest when we announced this at Summit recently, this year's Summit, we saw equal excitement. So we're looking for this thing to come together even more, and there'll be more details coming out. But certainly, if you have any questions or need more information, reach out to our team. So.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jim. And thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. Whether you're a partner, manager, C-suite leader, or staff member, you'll benefit from the experience and knowledge of our thought leaders and speakers. Don't miss this unique opportunity to transform your firm and ensure you are well positioned for success in the future.
Well, and I'd add for our listeners, if you enjoyed our discussion today, and hopefully you did and you're excited, but we release new episodes of the podcast every Tuesday morning. What they have in common across the board is that they are focused on helping you address a critical business issue or opportunity in 20 minutes or less. So we were talking about the Boomer Circle Summit in 24 today, but we address topics in all 5 of the pillars of success: leadership, talent, technology, process, and growth. And so if you liked what you heard, we ask you to please subscribe, and we want to say again, thanks so much for listening.